Pennsylvania is without a doubt one of, if not the most important states in the 2020 presidential election. Currently, Joe Biden holds about a 5 point lead over Donald Trump, and the recent polling data suggests that this lead is somewhere around 8 points in some polls to about 3 or 2 points in others. But the general consensus is that Joe Biden holds a significant lead in a state where Donald Trump narrowly won in 2016. But this is interesting to look at considering the amount of enthusiasm we have seen for the president in this state, specifically when Joe Biden is in town. Recently, Joe Biden did an interview in Scranton, where he was born and raised, and he was met with a parade of Trump supporters to counter Joe Biden being there. We've seen this type of enthusiasm for the president in other states like Florida, where we have seen the polling average completely narrow over the past couple months, and Donald Trump is only losing by about a point in the state of Florida, where we have seen a lot of enthusiasm. And that enthusiasm is very similar to what we're seeing in Pennsylvania. But why has this lead not shrunk as rapidly as it has in Florida? And this is what we're looking at today. Despite there being an overwhelming support, it seems like, for the president in this state, Joe Biden still holds a 5 point lead. Another thing to look at in the state of Pennsylvania is voter registration. And since 2016, the Democrats have lost just under 100,000 registered voters in the state of Pennsylvania, and Republicans have gained about 60,000, making it a net change, as you can see here, of about 150,000 voters in favor of the Republicans since 2016. Now, this is a very interesting statistic to look at, considering Donald Trump only won the state of Pennsylvania by about 70,000 votes in 2016. So with that 150,000 voter net gain for the Republicans, that is enough to win the state of Pennsylvania by a very large amount. But why haven't we seen that displayed in the polls? Now, if we look at Lackawanna County, which is this county that Scranton is located in, as I mentioned before, it is a county that was actually pretty close in 2016, with Hillary only winning it by about 3 percentage points and 3,000 votes. Now, as we've seen a uprising against Joe Biden in this county, if Donald Trump is able to carry it and win over 50% of the vote in the Scranton area, like it seems it will, because there's a lot of enthusiasm for the president in this area, then he would gain about 5,000 more voters, along with the registered voters that we just recently went over. So this is enough to show a very overwhelming win for the president in this state. But the only question is, why hasn't this shown up in the polls? I talked about Florida, how there's been a lot of enthusiasm with boat parades in that state, and we've seen it reflected in the polls. If we quickly go and look at polling in Florida, it is just under 2 percentage points compared to a few months ago. It was upwards of 8 percentage points. So this change, whether it's yet to come or it is not going to come at all, it has not happened in the state of Pennsylvania, in one of the most important states in this election, and it'll be very interesting to keep a close eye on this state as we continue to get more polling data, and maybe we will see that change begin to happen. But currently, despite the apparent enthusiasm for the president in Pennsylvania, it currently looks like Joe Biden holds a small lead in this very important battleground state.